Okay, class, let's continue. So make sure you're in the south view, and the next thing we want to do is we want to offset level 4 up 4 feet. So what you want to do is go to Architecture tab, click on the level icon on the datum panel, click the pick lines icon, and let's set the offset value to 4 feet. And hover above level 4 and set the offset value to 4 feet. Okay. And let's go ahead and rename this to West Roof. So double click here and rename this West Roof. And guys, when you're in the level command, make sure you exit out of it or you will create multiple levels. Just as you saw I've done it. I'm experienced and there are times when I make that mistake. But just make sure that you pay attention. Sometimes you can get distracted and it happens. And you need to know exactly what to do. So what I just did was undid everything and then just created that West Roof level. Now let's turn it off on this side. And we want to make sure that we turn it on this side. Okay. Now, let's go and offset level 3. We're going to offset that guy up 2 feet. And we are going to call it corridor roof. So click on your level tab, pick lines. I'm going to offset it 2 feet. Let's go ahead and we'll leave it on both sides right now. We'll turn it on the other side in a second. And we're going to call this corridor roof. Let's change this. Let's abbreviate corridor. So a little bit too long. Just put a period there. There we go. Corridor roof. Now let's take this guy and we want to actually unlock it. And let's drag this guy to about right here. We want to turn it on here as well. Okay. So now let's go back to your 3D model and let's go ahead and raise these walls right here. And we're going to set the top constraint to West Roof. And there you go. All right, so the very next thing we're going to do, let's go ahead and click on level 1. If you don't have it open, you can find it here under floor plans, not ceiling plans, in your project browser, okay? So now let's go ahead and go to the view tab. We're going to create what's called a building section. And for those of you who do not know what a building section is, it's kind of similar to taking in simplistic terms, taking a gigantic saw and cutting the building in half, okay? Which will show you the makeup of the wall construction and things of that nature. That's what it's used for. But you would click the section icon here, and you would click here and just drag it up. Okay? And you can actually move it if you want to. You can place it just like that. Now let me explain something about this, okay? You can also flip it. Right now the section is facing to the west. You can actually make it face east, okay? But let's leave it to the west for this portion of the project. You see this box right here? This box is going to give you the extents of the building section. So if you double click the building section, it'll take you to that view. Okay, so here's our building section view. And let's go back to floor plan so I can make this a little bit clearer for you guys. This is the extent of the view. If you have this right here and then go back to the view, then part of the building is cut off. You also can manipulate it here. which is what I like to do. I like to just go ahead and go to the view and then, manipulate the viewport so you can actually show what you want to show. Okay. So now let's go ahead and take this guy and let's drag it out for clarity. And let's do the same thing with these guys. It should snap. There you go, right there. So you have your west roof, and you have your corridor roof, which is going to be right above this level 3. Let's go back to the south elevation, okay? Here's the corridor roof. Let's go ahead and drag this out some. I know I drug it in, but I want to drag it out just so we can make sure we're seeing it in that view. All right, go to section 1. Now you can take this level 3 and turn it off, all right? And you can take this guy I can select it. Okay, sometimes you have to come, Rivet will glitch on you, just keep that in mind. Let's drag this guy out here. And just for clarity, well, let's leave that alone. So you have your level 1, you have your level 2, then you have your corridor roof, and then you have your west roof. Now, if you notice, the corridor roof marker is right here, and these are the corridor walls that we just cut. So let's go back to 3D. You can actually do it in this view, but for clarity, I like to just show it in 3D. Let's go ahead and select these walls. And let's connect this to corridor roof. And as you can see, they just grew and got a little bit taller, okay? Now let's go back to this section view. So here's what you should have, okay? This is how you create views, and this is a section view. So what you want to do is, in the project browser, you want to scroll down to where it says building sections and expand that portion and see where it says section 1. We want to rename that to West Corridor Section. So you would select it, right click, and go to rename and type in West Corridor Section. I like to use all caps. You don't have to. Hit enter. And there you have your view created. And you also have your view named.